All right, so we are here with Raze The Maze. Start at the very beginning, and we've got Moorea, Dickason, and Tarik, Ragab here from the Bay Area of California. So thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you guys taking the time.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks
And
for having
thanks for
us.
your diligent tech support. You made it happen.
I
Yeah.
gotta fire the idiot who set this
Ugh,
thing up.
he's out of here.
Yeah.
He's out of here. So sick of that guy. All right, so they're saying host audio is low, but I'm turning myself up. Hopefully, this is all good. But anyway, so you guys are best known for your work with your band Motar,
Yep.
Yeah.
which is a pretty cool. Well, you can explain the name.
Well, I mean, honestly, the name Motar was a placeholder name initially when we first started the project because my name's Moorea. This is Tarik. We're married. It was like our cheesy married name, like Motar. Our friends would call us Motar. And we're like, well, that'll just be the name of the band
Yeah.
until like we figure out something else. And then we like booked some shows and then we needed a website and they were like, ah, fuck it, we'll
It
keep
just
it.
stuck.
But then it made sense and it was cool and we fell in love with it. But yeah, it's a name hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Morea, Tarik,
I mean band
Motar.
names. They're tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now you've got this new one, Raise the Maze. What's that
Yeah.
about?
Well, Raze the Maze was actually a Motar song that was on the Entropy of the Century record, which was just a kind of a nonsensical song that was sort of a tongue-in-cheek um, sort of thing on the record because it needed some levity because it was so heavy. And but I always like the phrase, I like rhyming phrases. Phrases like that are cool. But Raze means to destroy uh, things, and then the maze it can be thought of as like a construct. So destroying, getting rid of like our preconceived notions and human constructs that have kind of led us down a bad path up until now. But then the flip side is the double, meaning of raise, Raise, which is to raise something. So, and then like the maze being like consciousness or something like that, or your mind or the game, so raising consciousness, raising your game. Because we're both kind of spiritual people, so there's some of that gets melded into the lyrics and what we're all about.
And there's a lot of sort of spirituality in a lot of your lyrics, some dystopian stuff,
Yeah.
philosophical stuff, singularity, Ray Kurzweil type stuff.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Robo Sapiens about that. Yeah.
Would you say you're pessimistic about the world?
No.
Depends on the
Well,
day.
yeah, that's true. I don't feel personally. Well, I don't feel one way or another necessarily,
You
but
know that movie Trolls, the
Yeah,
cartoon movie?
right.
Yeah, we think of ourselves as those trolls where I'm like the sparkly one with the rainbow hair and stuff, and
yeah,
he's like the gray guy.
yeah, yeah.
So we're like we're like kind of a
We're a
good
little
combo.
yin yang,
Yeah,
great with each other. But
it's a tough time to not be pessimistic. Obviously,
yeah,
at times. I mean, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot to be concerned about,
Right.
and there's also a lot to be hopeful for, and I feel
yeah,
I think we together, but speaking for myself, feel a certain amount of responsibility to do what I can as a person to lift my consciousness, to try and focus on what is good, and so it's that balance. There's a lot of those themes on the album. That's what
hmm,
we think about a lot. Is
So
the
speaking
two
of
things.
such themes, let's listen to the first song on this playlist. We're going to hear Robo Sapien. And
Yep.
that kind of fits the theme here, right?
yeah. Yeah. Well, you mentioned Kurzweil, and he has talked for a long time about human robot hybridization and stuff. So that's kind of what this tune is about. And these are like cautionary tales, I guess, maybe more so than I'm not trying to wag a finger or anything, or I'm not a Luddite, but it's just, like asking the question, is this the kind of world that we necessarily want? The
Right?
future that we kind of, you know what I mean? Let's think
Yep.
about.
Cool. All right, well, let's listen to the track.
Future fantastic marionette, Robo Sapien, genetic, altered aesthetic, hypnotic, Robo Sapien, synthetic.
So creative, just wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks so much.
It is a unique experience to be filmed whilst listening to one's own music.
Yeah. I think it's kind of fun and different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's cool if it works, like if we can get all the technical stuff going.
Yeah. It's going great.
So one of my favorite things about your music are those really complex sort of linear musical, I don't know what you would call them, just these background lines that are, unison guitar and bass. You do it in a lot of different songs. It's such a cool technique. So what is going on there, and how are you coming up with some of those ideas?
Well, I mean, they are a lot of unison stuff between guitar and bass. I like that sound for some reason. I feel like it can strengthen a part just to have, something, doubling. Also, like in some of the other stuff we'll hear later on the record, I like writing a lot of harmonized, like solely kind of parts, and that's probably the jazz background that I have and stuff, and listening to people like Duke Ellington and like that kind of stuff,
Yeah, I was going to say, we both have this jazz background, so it's like bringing in the soli section, like a horn soli section into this.
Yeah, into a rock world.
A rock idiom.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as how I come up with the, that's a good question. I mean, I think a lot of times it starts as a concept in my head, as just sort of, and then I tool around on the instruments till I get some licks and stuff that I feel like are. Nowadays, I'm actually playing things first, before I write them, to make sure that I can play them, because I've done it the opposite way, where I've written in the music stuff that I thought would be playable, and it was really, really hard. So better to know you can execute something.
Yeah, definitely. It's so rich and dances around the tonal center of whatever else is happening. So Moorea's vocals are so precise and beautiful and clean and clear and very strong melodies. And then in the background, it's like total chaos is happening,
Right.
but it's still supporting what is happening, which is really one of my favorite things about your compositional style. I don't know if you both collaborate on the songwriting or if one does more than the other, but whatever's going on, keep doing it.
Sweet,
Thank
thank you. Tarik definitely does the vast bulk of the compositions. I am like editor in chief
Uh-huh.
on a lot of them.
She does all the vocal arranging.
Yeah, I write all the vocal parts and the
all the,
harmonies
like,
and all
so-
that stuff. But
Yeah, those.
yeah.
And those can be
Tarik,
very elaborate as
living
well.
with this guy, I can say he's just constantly writing. He's one of those obsessive humans that sits and does that all the time. It means that if I want to listen to music in the house, a lot of times I'm walking around with my phone and earbuds because Tarik's writing and we can't listen to music out loud.
How could anyone listen? How could you listen to music and write that kind of stuff at the same time? And,
Yeah, you can't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as much as we are music lovers, we don't listen to a ton of music in the house because there's a lot of composing going on.
Well, after the record was made, I've been listening to a lot lately.
That's true.
It's kind of like getting a battery recharge. But I don't listen to music that's anything like what we play, so it's kind of weird.
I think that makes sense. I'm pretty similar, and I think other artists that I've spoken to are that way too. It's they need to fulfill other needs through listening, and then there's the compositional need. I'm sure visual artists, don't seek out artists that are similar to their style. You get inspired everywhere else.
Totally.
Right on. So we're looking at another song called Epophacy. Do you want to provide any setup on this one?
Well, the word, you only find that word in the Urban Dictionary, I think, but I don't know where I heard that word, Epophacy. It's supposedly it means like prophecy of the apocalypse. It's kind of a thing, but which isn't necessarily what the song's about. This is another kind of a little bit of a word salad type song with little micro meanings inside of like each phrase. So I like to work a lot in like double meaning and stuff, and then like little bits that have their own little universal meaning to themselves or something like that.
It reminds me of on King Crimson's later albums with Adrian Belew.
Yeah.
The world is my oyster soup kitchen floor wax museum. It's like
Exactly. Yeah.
kitchen floor wax,
Oh.
wax museum. Like he's connecting all of these different ideas lyrically into very long phrases that if you actually sit and listen to them and think about them, it's like, how did he do that?
That's our favorite car game.
That's a car game. Yeah.
When we're on road trips, that's that game we'll play.
Yeah.
Wait, tell me more.
Or like if I say a word like car, then he has to say an associative word, wax, and then I'd say museum, and he'd say, like you just kind of, and then you end up with this like 40-word amazing phrase.
Umbilical cord.
Yeah.
So
It's really fun.
You just take the part of a word and then make it into another word.
So you're welcome. Next road trip, play that game.
I'll tell you
the alphabet game.
The game my wife and I play on road trips, we look at license plates, and if there are letters that are grouped together, we try to think of a word that contains all of those letters, the longest word possible that contains the letters in that order. So viewers of this stream get 2 solid road trip games out of it.
Yeah.
welcome.
Hey, and that's a gift. I've gone to search online for new road trip games, and they all suck. And these 2 are pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely brainy.
Yeah, definitely tag road trip games in the stream later.
All right, and just for the people watching the stream, I am pulling up their Bandcamp page. So it's razethemaze.bandcamp.com. URL's at the bottom of the screen. And you can buy this new Raze the Maze album on Bandcamp. And the great thing about Bandcamp, if you're not familiar, is you can listen to the whole album, it looks like. And I think they give you 3 full listens of any streamable song before they say, seems like you like this song. You should probably buy it. Mm-hmm. So we'll get a little more into Bandcamp and musical sustainability, especially if you live in very expensive cities like you guys do. So let's listen to Apophacy, and then we'll get further into that.
Sweet.
Sinking like a shipwreck architect, all lost at sea, and ticking like a time bomb, a false alarm, just like in the calm, right before the storm front. Our mental construct would have a circle, our wagons to slay all our dragons, even the good ones. In our excess, we are the witnesses, truth serenades, while our hearts masquerade on a tightrope, like a bad joke. But in our chrysalis of abyss, we should all wish not to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now we've got the scapegoat, antidote, all mirror glowed, and money that is well spent. Mismanagement when broken in our debt, we collectively have elected our feelings to be deflected, ignoring the tragic and source of magic. Tie the slip knot of better hoping not. All sugar coats for the building of moats round the palace. Raise your chalice, comically, tragically, laughing and crying to ease all the pain. In the end, we're all the same. Tragic humorous, hubris, caged animal, inhumane. In the end, we're all to blame. And we're caught in the snapshot of better hope not, with a new plot based on the aftershock. Dead reckoning as we enter the ring, pantomimes in these troubled times. But in our chrysalis of abyss, we should all wish not to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Tragic humorous, hubris, caged animal, inhumane. In the end, we're all to blame. All human hypocrites, crying and laughing to heal all the pain. In the end, we're all the same.
So true.
Yeah.
You know, I raised the glass during the line, raise a chalice.
Oh yeah. Right on.
Felt pretty good about myself.
Well, see, now that song's got what I call a prog Easter egg in there with those solis. So, you know, if you're, it sounds pretty straightforward, you know, in the beginning, but then it's got some weird time stuff in there.
You are so mischievous with your time signatures in your songs, especially on there are several segments in this song, but then the first time that's the thing I remember most about the first time I listened to the Motar album. Yeah. I think it was on the song Entropy of the Century. There's that arpeggiated section. Like, oh, geez, you know. And I felt proud of myself for finally like breaking it down and being able to track where those measures are cut short. I find it satisfying to write that kind of music. I would imagine you do too.
I do. I love the that it's kind of like a skipped beat in there. It's where it's like you shave a 16th note off of the times here. You know, you get a little 1 2 3 1 2 3. You know, 1 2
Right.
3 1 2 3, like this. So I don't know, actually Zappa was one of the first people I heard do that, but it's also in like Kanakal Indian music and stuff. They do that all over they've been doing it probably longer than anybody, but it's just a cool. It sounds kind of like, it reminds me of like when like, you know, you just turn a corner or something just flashes on you, just like, whoa, you know, like it's very startling kind of
Right.
effect.
Now, Moorea, can you talk about your vocal approach to these songs? Because I love the multi-layered vocals. I love the way you perform them. And then, I mean, there's got to be some significant challenges, which you may be used to by now after years of performing these songs. But talk a little about how you approach the vocals and how you approach harmonization, those kinds of things.
Yeah, a lot of the time when Tarik approaches me with a new song, the song itself is completely fleshed out, and there will be a melody with lyrics that is that he's written out, but it's a simplified version of it, and it's been charted like he does it in Sibelius. I can hear it by MIDI, so it sounds like, you know, a computer.
Yep.
And I sit and I'll interview him, like, what is the approach? Because it'll be like, I'll hear it the first time. I'm like, I almost every time I'm like, I don't know what to do exactly with this. You know, I'm not sure. On occasion, I'll hear one of his tunes and I'll be like, I got this. Like, go out and run some errands, and I'm going to work on this, and you come home and see what you think. But most of the time, I'm trying to kind of get inside his head a little bit and get some inspiration for at least the vibe he's picturing. At this point, Tarik and I have been, I mean, we're married. We're about to go to Hawaii next week on our 14th wedding anniversary, but we've been together for like 16 years. We've been musical collaborators the whole time. We met on a gig, and we're each other's musical biggest fans. So we have over time developed a lot of musical trust. So it'll be that he'll have a song that's his baby. He hands it over to me, and it's like, I trust you, do something with it. So a lot of the time.
That's no easy feat, by the way, for me.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, I am a little bit of a control freak sometimes.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I diverted a little bit, but I think my approach is to try and get as much information as I can from him as to what his hope is. And usually it's pretty vague, which is cool. So it gives me a lot of space to.
You go for it. Just do whatever you do, you know?
Yeah.
And
I guess
I'm always happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't be. I mean, she's such a great singer, such a powerful voice. And that's actually what got me into your music. While the instrumentation and the compositional aspects are super interesting, having such a strong female voice in front of this music, and she's such a great performer in front of the camera too. I think I saw one of your videos on YouTube and I just thought, holy cow, who is this woman just belting these crazy songs out? So yeah, like, I can't imagine being unhappy with anything that she would put out, because it's so clear how much talent she's got, natural and trained. You know, there's so much going on there, especially in this music. And for anyone to be able to pull off such performances with what sounds like ease and comfort is the mark of a real musician. So, you know, really amazing work.
Thank you. Well, I will say, for me as a singer, who I do feel really equal parts technician, and as a lot of singers do also feel someone that's the other half of the goal is to emote and tell a story. It's such a huge honor and pleasure and joy to get handed songs that are so complex and gritty and with such cool lyrics and with a lot of space and complexity and challenges every time I'm challenged. And that's what I think a lot of us musicians are looking for. It's like, there's plenty of music that I make that I'm happy to make, that I'm not challenged by. Super challenged, maybe a little challenged is challenged, but this is like super challenging material. And to find out how to bring it to life is like the coolest thing I do
That's
ever.
the key word there too, to bring it to life, because Moorea will breathe life into things that I have no idea. It's only in my head. It's really hard to conceptualize what it ultimately will sound like, and then I'm always just like, wow, it's magical. You know what I mean?
Totally. Well, I know very well personally, because I write music for my wife to sing as well. And we've been married 15 years. Yeah, it was 15 years in July. And we have very opposite experiences. She would tell you the music that I write or arrange is unnecessarily difficult, and and she would say that I do things that are counter to everything she ever learned in vocal lessons. So whenever I have a song, we usually try to do a Christmas song each year. And I'm very much like, okay, the vocal needs to be like this, not operatic. She's classically trained, sustain the note, leave some vibrato at the end. She's like, you have no idea, A, how wrong this feels, and B, how difficult you're making it for me as a singer.
Totally.
Yeah, I think one of the challenges I had and early on, especially with Motar when we were starting, I would write these things, and Moorea would come to me and she's like, "You've left me no place to breathe." Literally, like this melody, like, and so that's something that I actually think about now, and I put spaces in between phrases and things, to try and make it more user friendly that way. But
That's pretty awesome. Excellent. All right, let's look at this third song. Let's see. It is called
What's it gonna be?
Life's a Dream.
Oh,
yeah.
so true.
Yeah, so the first couple of songs were a bit darker, maybe more morose a bit. Not in tonality, I mean lyrically.
yeah,
But Life's a Dream. Tell us about that.
this was another sort of existential I don't know, like quasi-spiritual idea of like, what's reality and what's not, and like, you hear that said a lot in spirituality, but life is just a dream, and everything's temporal and changing, and so like, what we think of as the solid reality that we live in is actually maybe just some kind of hologram or something. So it sort of deals with that, I guess. Dream state,
Yeah. And what about musically? Anything to pay attention to, or anything particularly that you're proud of? You want to point out?
Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say we are rehearsing right now with a group of musicians in order to play our first show. We're gonna play the record, play a couple things. This for me is the most the bridge on this song.
Yeah.
Count it, mofos.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It's weird. Yeah. This
is me, like in the bridge. Count. It's. I think it's cool because it's this dreamy song, but there's a lot of complexity going on in there, in between the dreamy moments.
There's a kind of a common theme on this record in terms of the rhythm section, and what I was thinking about were these rhythms that get offset by everything is in 4, but they get offset by an eighth note or something. So it's like, but the count is always here. So and so in this case, what's actually impressive to me too about Moorea as a singer, she's actually the glue in this tune, as opposed to like the traditional role of like the bass and the drums would be the solid thing. And
it's true. My part is the only part that feels like it's in 4 and grounded, and everything else around me is a cacophony of insanity.
Yeah.
That's
why I think you mean it's a dream.
It's just a dream.
Yeah, it's elastic.
Let's watch us listen to that.
Your vocal part is the only real thing about the song, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, let's give it a listen.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow, there is a lot going on in that song.
Yeah. There is.
You need a lot of listens
Yeah.
to really get it.
Yeah. I have sat with a couple of people who I care about in my life and listened to a couple of our tunes. And as I'm sitting with them, I'm thinking, they're going to have to listen to this on their own a couple of times before this is going to like land at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that song is, wow. It's like a whirlwind. It's awesome. Super cool.
Thank you, man.
And we've got some comments in the live stream. They're really enjoying this piece of music in particular. Guy named Rob W said, Ivy Room, please. Maybe that's a venue request. I'm not quite sure.
It is. Yeah. And Rob Waxman. Yeah, that's where we're going to book our first show. Or at least we're going to reach out to them. Yeah, we live in Richmond, California, and the city just next to here is Albany, which is where Ivy Room is, which is a really amazing venue here in the Bay Area that it's hard to find venues here that really honor the local scene. And they do very well. So it's a cool spot, and I think that's where we'll probably book the first show.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So we mentioned you living in the Bay Area a couple times. You both are full-time musicians, right?
We are.
Yeah.
How on earth do you make that work?
Good question.
Diversification. We both do a lot of different things. We're sitting in our living room right now, but we live in a 2-bedroom flat, and the second bedroom is a recording studio. And so I do a lot of vocal session work for hire. I got a really killer education in my early 20s, just after college, getting to sing sound-alikes for video game companies here in the Bay Area, doing what was it? GarageBand, Guitar Hero, Karaoke Revolution, and so because of that work, kind of just got in the scene of session work. So I do a lot of that here, and I'm able to record from home, which is also a big asset that I can, cost less for folks, that they don't have to book a session somewhere else. So that's rad.
We also both teach.
Yeah, we both teach.
Teaching is probably our main bread and butter. Teaching, and then I do a lot of gigging as well. Like, the corporate and wedding kind of gig type stuff.
Yeah. And we both do a handful of that kind of thing. And we both, not just private lessons, we do both teach private lessons, but we also both work through a rock band school out here. So I run a vocal program where folks come in and work with me for 5 weeks and then get to sing with a professional band at a killer venue, which is really cool, just amateur singers. I work with a lot of individual singers, high school and adults, and love doing it. I keep it to no more than 50% of my work time so that I continue to like it, and can stay fresh with it. But I really love working with singers. I got a really great music education, so I enjoy passing that on, and not doing it through a school or institution, doing it on my own terms. I've gotten quite a few students through Motar, people coming to me that want to learn how to do that kind of music. It's so fun to get to teach that. And
Patreon as well has been a great platform for us.
Yeah.
And it keeps us on our toes, because we put out a video every 2 weeks on there, and that's really fun and creative way to, and create a fan base and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we've got the Patreon account that's been running for a couple of years. Yeah. I started it a few years ago, just myself, mostly because I really wanted to learn how to make music videos and learn how to use Final Cut Pro and get confident and comfortable in that medium. And I probably the first 2 or 3 months, I would be up at 4 a.m, like crying, trying to figure out how I was going to get it out. But now we're well-oiled machine over here, and we, it's cool. So that's really fun, and it's really fun having the Patreon community. Like it's amazing to put out art to the general public, and to build a fan base. And it's also so nice to have an insular community of people that like they're our biggest fans, so much so that they're like giving us money every month in order to make art.
Yeah.
And so, we can share music and art with them, and it feels a little less vulnerable and just safer and more, I don't know. It's just nice to have that community, and there's a lot of back and forth and a lot of feedback, and we try and create things for that community based on what they're interested in. And so anyway, those are the things we do for the most part.
Yeah, I think what you said earlier about you got to wear a lot of hats as a musician if you want to make it, in a place that's expensive. I think that's a big key, because I've known people who have just gigged full time or done one thing or another, but that can you can get burnt out too if if you're not careful. So sort of diversity is
we hustle.
Yeah, hustle. Yeah. A lot of
I just brought up your Patreon page for the stream, people watching the stream.
Oh, cool.
And you do have tiers as low as $1. I think I'm in the $1 tier.
Hey, right.
Yep. But
no, it's perfect. I mean, the best thing was that anybody that's into what we're doing, $1 a month, and then you kind of can check out all the stuff that we're doing. We put out like all of the official Raze The Maze videos go out significantly earlier than they go to the public, but we also do a lot of acoustic versions of those. Right now, we're in the middle of doing a series of covers of some of the most influential artists that, for our musical lives. Tarik just did an XTC tune. I did a Radiohead tune before that.
Yeah.
It's cool.
That's awesome. I'm glad that Patreon is working out for you. I just put I put the link in the video feed as well.
Thanks.
And it has been cool to see you evolve your craft over time, because, those early videos were pretty simple, but then you started getting into many Mooreas, like multi-vocal tracks and harmonies and that kind of thing. So it's been cool to watch you evolve over time as well, especially since I make videos, and it's so difficult to find the time to do that stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes when I have a bigger batch of time, I'll try and really, like on occasion, we'll do a couple of like what we just did, single shot solo videos, so we can bank a bigger batch of time in order to make a more complex video. I just need more time though. I can't do it in 2 weeks with everything else
complex.
to do, Yeah. So we bounce around with it, but it's super fun.
Excellent. Cool. So, what are ways that people can support you? Obviously there's Patreon, but do the sales on Bandcamp make a difference? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, they do. I mean, Bandcamp's amazing. I think for us right now, with Raze The Maze being a brand new project, we're just trying to get the word out about this new thing we have. We put out an album that before we ever played any shows. We kind of went that route. We are looking to book our first debut show probably in October, November. So right now, the album's everywhere. So if people want to support us with their dollars, they can buy the album on Bandcamp, which is amazing. We so appreciate it. It's also on all of the streaming sites for free. And that's because we just want people to hear it, and we're just looking to get the word out. And so really right now, the biggest way people can support us isn't even as much with dollars, but just, go subscribe to the YouTube channel, like fan us on Instagram and Facebook. Like we're all of the places, and we're just trying to like share, spread the news, spread the word, stream it for free. We don't care. Just like, we're just trying to get the music out there. And Anthony, we really appreciate this interview. Yeah. And so it's the very beginning of this project. We have a ton of new material already. We're just, part of why we made Raze The Maze, really just us, and we're working with lots of different musicians, but it's not like Motar was, which was a 6-person band, is so that we can just create a lot faster and pump out material. So we have a couple singles that are going to come out soon, and we just put the album out a few months back. So we're hoping to really put out a lot of music and a lot of art, and just hope people listen, like, follow, share, buy it if you want.
Listen, like, follow, share.
Listen, like, follow, share.
Yeah. Stop, look, listen.
That's like a road trip game.
Yeah.
Listen, like, follow, share.
All of the things.
Yep. All right, cool. So this last song we're going to listen to is probably my favorite on the record. I'm glad we saved it for last. It's a great way to... You don't know what it is?
I forgot now.
I know, we gave it to you, but I don't remember.
Okay, good. Then I will build up all of this suspense.
Yeah.
It's called Digital Deity.
Oh.
Right.
No, it's a really great song, and I listened to it just for the first time, and I was like, what the heck? You know, I'm like clapping and headbanging and, pounding my foot on the floor. It's just such a great track. It's really fun and easy to get into. And, like all of your other compositions, amazing vocal performance, amazing musical performances, great composition. So really glad we're going to be able to play this one for everyone. And if you do like this album, check out the URLs at the bottom of the screen. And subscribe, follow Raze the Maze on all the social medias.
Listen, like, follow, share.
Listen, like, follow, share. Oh, my USB drive is spinning up.
Another sacrificial lamb. The gods of commerce all have their demands. For their guns and wars be damned. Technology at their command. The future in unhuman hands. Life's blood must pour, all kneel before the digital deity. What do you ask of me? How can I give you any more? Digital deity, what do you ask of me? Another tragic aftermath. And once again the devil laughs, dancing with the golden calf. To him we're all just simple math. Life's blood must pour, all kneel before the digital deity. What do you ask of me? How can I give you any more? Digital deity, what do you ask of me? Trapped inside ubiquity, as if we all designed our own obscurity. We can't escape this currency.
Is that a siren or is that you, Moorea?
Actually,
It's a synthesizer.
it's a synthesizer.
Okay.
But I'm gonna do that live
Yeah.
with an effects pedal.
Yeah.
So I can. I was like, I can sing those notes.
You can sing that high? Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that, but like through some filters. I'm
Wow.
excited about that. We actually did that tune acoustic for Patreon. Yeah, and I did it there, and I was like, ooh, I gotta do this live because it's super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I can't help but think of Gentle Giant in this song.
Yeah.
Are you a Gentle Giant fan?
Yeah, I love those guys. I mean, I'm not like a huge fan like some folks probably are, but I know like, like Proclamation and those, the record with the guy, the
Who knows in the face?
yeah, or the squid. No, wait, I'm thinking of. Anyway, yeah, I love
Octopus.
The octopus. Yes, that's the name of the record.
You just lost your Prague card.
I know. I did. Lost all Prague credibility.
Yeah, you just stopped talking.
Yeah.
That's funny. My mom said to me in the car today, she goes, "Who's that guy that I think is funny? You know who he is. He's got the cowboy hat." I'm like, "What?"
The cowboy hat.
Who was it?
It was Lyle Lovett.
Oh, Barry Lee. Lyle Lovett. Lyle Lovett. Cute.
Yeah.
That's cute of your mom.
Hey, what was that thing you were holding up while we were listening? It was like a
well, we actually did make a CD, but there's a horrible glare on it.
There, that's not bad.
Oh.
yeah, just there you go. Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
what kind
we
of song
really
is it?
wanted to press a record, but y'all, that shit is so expensive.
Prohibitively expensive.
We're like, let's make a CD first.
Yeah.
It's like $10 a record.
Yeah.
Whoa,
to make-
really? Well, I guess that's why artists are selling them for $30. It's
Exactly.
crazy.
Yeah, I'd like pay for it when they do. It's so expensive. But anyway, yeah. So we did press a CD because, we're both just old school enough that it's like, I know a lot of people don't have CD players anymore, but I still want something to walk away from a show with. And we've had quite a few people buy the CD online, and I think it's just sometimes that you want to hold a thing and have that kinesthetic experience. So.
I like CDs personally.
Me
I like
too.
putting them getting in the car and just put
I
it
know.
simple. It's very.
We just did a road trip up to Humboldt County. We're up in the Redwoods and made a very intentional decision to put the phones in the trunk and just like get away from screens for 48 hours. And so we brought a ton of CDs, and I hadn't done like the CD road trip in a long time. It was so fun.
Yeah.
We listened to more albums than I've done in a long time.
Yeah.
We're just skipping. Anyway, so yeah, CDs. Plug in CDs, bro.
Where can someone buy this CD?
This compact disc. They can get the compact disc either on Bandcamp or right on our website, which is razethemazemusic.com, because apparently someone wrote a book called Raze the Maze, so we couldn't get that domain. So razethemazemusic.com or razethemaze.com/Bandcamp.
Yeah. There's a guy named Doug in the feed, and he's been following the site for a while, and he says physical media is better. You actually own the thing and feel it. It's great.
I agree, Doug.
Yeah, me too. And then we're entrusting all this stuff to a cloud. It's kind of like, what happens if they decide, no, we don't want you to.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have piles of CDs over here, and it's been great because on Instagram I've just been taking pictures of CDs that I like, and it's generating all this conversation. And I
know, I love your CD posts.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I bought some digital only albums, and I'm like, do I take a picture of the screen? That seems kind of lame.
No,
like,
so lame.
There's like pride in having the thing, even if you paid for both, like the physical or the digital.
Which I've done a ton.
Yeah, I don't steal music. I pay for it, but I didn't have a physical copy of the Esperanza Spalding album, so. I took a picture of my screen, and I was like, that is one of the lamest things I've ever done.
Well, look, we're sitting
our record
in front
collection
of, this is our record collection right here.
Very nice.
So there's hundreds of records.
CD collection.
I love the
Right
fact
over there.
that with
Yeah.
records, like I can go and get the greatest music ever composed by humans for like 50 cents, and it's the Beethoven collection is this thick, and
I know, right?
and it's in pristine condition at the thrift store, and it's like that's incredible,
It is.
I mean,
It's
maybe it's a
awesome.
little bit of a kind of sad too or something, but
It's just incredible.
it's just incredible.
Yeah.
Sorry. So
Well,
yin
I
yang.
have to admit that I was the person buying vinyl without the record player for quite some time, just because I wanted the art for the Make Weird Music videos. And it was great to have them. And then I bought a record player, and I found I really, really enjoy just putting on a record. And one side is just over so quick. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, I've got to put on the other side. I'm
Yeah.
not done. And it really,
Yeah.
like, you have to go physically interact with the thing. And it's like, it's a beautiful, joyful experience, even though I don't think it sounds as enjoyable. Like, a new record sounds good, but I have some from like the 70s that are original that just sound like garbage.
Yeah.
And, it's not as enjoyable to listen to, but it is cool to get this sense of like, I'm participating in the act of listening to music. It's not just some background thing,
Yeah, and I do think there's certain like jazz albums that we have that it is kind of cool listening through the shittier, older sounding crinkle in the background of
right.
the record.
Yeah,
You're just
there's
like,
a nostalgia in that too. Yeah.
Right.
it adds the vibe.
But I also there's something to be said about like the whole concept album too, and like I remember like certain records I had, like Weather Report had a record where they ended side one with this like weird synth thing that was like, and then when you flip over, it's on Night Passage actually, if anyone's curious. You flip it over, and then the record starts with, and then it goes right into a cover of Duke Ellington's "Rockin' in Rhythm," and it's just like it's psychedelic, it's just like it takes
Totally.
you on this journey,
And Mr.
Big
Bungle has the album Disco Volante, and one of the tracks is actually double threaded. So if you put the needle in the right, slot, you get a different song.
No
Right,
way!
I remember I had Mad Magazine had put out when they used to put out little floppies back in the
Right.
in the early 80s,
Uh-huh.
and they had records like that would change every time you played it. It would be two different.
Get out of
Yeah, it was cool.
town.
It's really
Yeah.
cool.
Very cool stuff. There's still a lot of innovation in vinyl production too. Like, I forget who did it, but there was a hologram. Maybe it was Trent Reznor, but like they can kind of scratch a holographic image that changes as the record rotates. If you just keep
Get
looking at it
outta
in
here.
one, I swear.
That cost
Our
$1,000
next album,
per record.
everyone. That's what we're doing.
Only Trent can do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
No, but that's super cool. That's super cool. It's probably like a $100 record.
Or you know
to
what? It
buy.
was Jack White. That's who it was.
Oh,
The White Stripes.
yeah.
Hey, and Bungle's doing a little reunion.
I
Yeah.
know. Are you going to go
Just
to the
saw that.
show? They're playing in San Francisco.
Yeah,
Oh, really? I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
I just saw Matt Hollenberg post it.
yeah.
Are you friends with Matt from Infineon?
Cleric and Infineon. Yeah, Tarik did Infineon's record cover. The art.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually brings up the fact that you're a visual artist as well. Like,
Yeah.
do you have anything you can show us? Anything?
Oh, yeah. Well, the piece on the wall back there, yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
probably hard to see.
I like the new thing that you posted on Instagram.
Oh, yeah,
His latest
that's it.
painting. Yeah, there it is.
There she be.
Betty Blue.
Do you sell this art?
I do.
Yeah, it's all on
for sale.
RazeTheMazeMusic.com.
Dirt cheap.
It is actually. Yeah, we have it priced
just
really
wanna-
low.
I just want it to go to a good home, That's all I care about.
Yeah, we just want to sell it for cheap to make room, or to buy more canvases to make more art, to buy more canvases to make more art.
I hear you. That song Oasis on the Infineon record
Yeah.
is a work of genius. Chrissy just knocked it out of the park with that one. I can't believe it. What
Yeah.
a song.
Yeah, no, they're incredible. That record's incredible.
It's a great record. I interviewed them on the site too quite some time ago, but that's how I got to know them.
Cool. cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
right,
we
so-
got to know Matt a while back, and also
Yeah.
Naima, his girlfriend, who's really accomplished and amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool people.
Yeah, and he does a lot of really cool gigs too. So
Yeah, we got to see
Yeah.
him with John Zorn
That's
out
right.
here in SF last year.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah. The Masada book.
Yeah.
you guys are selling like canvas prints for $100.
No, those are the actual original pieces.
Or I mean
on-
canvas paintings. Sorry. Yeah.
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 Oh, geez. All
It's
right.
an overstock problem, man. That's,
Yeah, we have a lot going on over here.
yeah.
Some of these are pretty big too. Holy cow.
Yeah.
The really big ones that are really cheap are older.
Uh-huh.
Those are very old. Those are
Yeah, the higher
like
price
20
ones
years
are new.
old, some of them.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be looking through that and thinking about where in the studio I'm actually that wall. Oh, you can't see cuz you're not on the stream, but there's a wall right there that's
Oh
blank.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well,
Yep.
I don't want to say this, but yeah.
We got to get that figured out.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well,
All right.
thank you so much for taking the time to talk through your new music. And again, for any listeners or viewers, check out the URLs at the bottom of the screen, Bandcamp, Patreon, and then you'll find all their social media links on those pages as well.
Anthony, thank you.
Yes.
You are a gem. Thanks for promoting weird music
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank
and
you, man.
being super cool. And we
Oh.
could just talk to you all night.
I know it's like
so
I don't
fun.
want to end it. You know
End
what?
the
I'll just
stream
stop
and
the
just
stream
chat.
and then we can keep talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun.
Encore.
Right on. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Everyone on
Bye,
the stream,
Internet.
thank you for joining. And hopefully this turns out decent on the other end. Have a good one.
That's what she said.
Nice.
That is
pretty
the last
good.
thing in the stream.
All right, Michael Scott.
Sorry. We're like rewatching The American Office right now.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Is that not like the funniest show?
It's
Oh,
so
it's
fucking funny. But
ridiculous.
it's like 8,000. That's what she said jokes. I'm finding myself constantly wanting to say it and or hearing it in my head.
Oh, my favorite scene is when Robert California interviews for his job.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's way later. We're only in season 4 right now. We've watched the whole thing before, but
Oh yeah, but when
Yeah,
they're like,
that's last season.
"Aren't you overqualified for this position?" and he goes, "Do I look like the kind of person who would waste his own time?"
right. That is so
genius.
fucking hilarious.
It really
It-
is, and like it's like Seinfeld. You can go back and rewatch it, and it's still
Oh my God.
really funny.
We are having so much fun rewatching it, and it's, with all the horrifying shit happening in the
Yeah,
world, we're like,
right.
oh,
It's comfort food.
The Office. Yeah, it's just like it's perfect. During the Bush
Absolutely.
administration, I had West Wing, and now I have The Office, the American
Yeah.
Office.
Very
Yeah.
shitty administration we have. To
Yeah.
Well, soon you'll have Evil Lives Here,
Right.
featuring my wife.
Right. That's right.